morning and welcome back to Northumbria Football TV. I'm Tom Lord.
And I'm Scott Greyston. Today we've got a jam-packed show for you. We'll be revisiting some of the men's first team matches from the last few months.
And later we'll be speaking to Northumbria's men's coach, Terry Mitchell. But before that, we're going to take a look at some of the highlights from the game against Nottingham. Scotty was there at the match to report.
Here at Kirch Lane, the match begun with a fast tempo as both teams started brightly. A quick counter-attack created Nottingham's first opportunity. A mistimed tackle from behind resulted in the first booking of the game, after what looked like a promising move for Northumbria. The home team continued to press and penetrate the Nottingham defence. Chances were being created, especially down the left-hand side, where Nottingham seemed to be at their weakest. Northumbria applied more pressure and started getting into their passing stride. A quick flowing move allowed their winger to break free and have a shot on goal. Another angle of this attack shows Northumbria at their best. Northumbria would have gone one up if it wasn't for some heroic defending from the Nottingham centre-back. A mistimed tackle would have resulted in the away side playing the remainder of the game with 10 men. From a tight angle, the home team were unlucky not to see the ball end up in the back of the net after the goalie was caught in no man's land. The first goal of the game came completely against the run of play for Nottingham. After going a goal down, the Poly reacted positively with a skillful move down the right-hand side. The beginning of the second half saw Nottingham double their lead with the best goal of the game. After a tactical substitution and a change of formation, Northumbria were able to get straight back into the game after a clinical finish from their informed forward. The game began to open up as the home side were pushing for an equaliser. During this period, Nottingham managed to score a scrappy goal to make it 3-1. Some sloppy defending from a corner rewarded Northumbria with a goal which gave them belief that they could get a result. Northumbria could not force an equaliser in stoppage time, and unfortunately it wasn't to be as they simply ran out of time. Full-time result, Northumbria 2, Nottingham University 3.
So, great and close match there, Scott. It just ran out of time at the end, didn't we? It looked like we were pressing and pressing, but the final whistle kind of killed us off and we ended up losing 3-2.
Oh yeah, it was a very tight game in the end, but Northumbria may have lost, but it was what a goal to beat them.
And there were a few great goals in that game, especially the Nottingham second goal. That's the best of the bunch. You know, let's have a look at that goal again because it's an absolute phenomenal strike. Is that?
Well, the winger picks up the ball and shifts inside onto his weaker foot and just bends it, and the keeper's left in no man's land. What a finish!
There's actually nothing the keeper can do there. Is it full stretch as you can see? It's just curling into the bottom corner.
It's funny seeing the keeper at the end. He's just like, oh, what the hell can I do about that? Like,
I mean, he's probably thinking why you're pressing him, but he's danced around a few plays to create that space at the edge of the box. So once he's got that space, he's just killed it into the bottom corner. That's absolutely beautiful finishing, is that? Oh yeah,
it was absolutely nothing Northumbria could do, but the fight back at the end, that showed true spirit, didn't it?
Yeah, it did. We had quite a bit of nice play all the way through the match as well. We picked out a bit in particular. Just have a look at that one down there. Just one down the left wing where it starts off with Tom Chippendale. And you can see, just great one-touch passing. Unfortunately, it doesn't result in a goal, but it's promising signs there, isn't it?
Well, it's almost like watching Barcelona, isn't it? Kirch Lane campus. Who would have thought it? But yeah, it was an amazing move, and they were unlucky not to capitalise and get a goal from it.
So that's the sort of stuff you practice on the training ground. It's sometimes hard to put into a game situation, but passing that quickly and one touch, they had no chance in Nottingham defence.
Oh no, it was just they just weren't getting the rub of the green, were they? And the ball wasn't going into the net. But on another day, they could have easily got a point, if not 3. But
definitely, we had another defining factor and key moment in the game, and that's the tackle from the Nottingham defender there.
oh,
Let's have a look at this again, because this is at 0-0, and if this tackle's mistimed, then it's in the penalty box. It's a penalty to to Northumbria.
Peter Watlin's away, isn't he? You'd put your mortgage on him scoring that and getting on the end of it. But what a tackle! It's like Tony Adams that.
He's a yard in front as well, isn't he? And just for him to take that chance and time it perfectly, it's absolutely hats off to him.
Well, yeah, it was at a key moment of the game as well with the score 0-0. If that would have got in and they'd got a goal from it, Northumbria would definitely have gone on and got a result.
Definitely, but it wasn't a different result, and it was disappointing in the end. But our team did fare slightly better when we played Sheffield Hallam at Coach Lane campus. Ellie McCune was there at the game, so let's take a look at the highlights.
After a surging run from Dan Riley, Ben Sayer found space on the edge of the box and finished in style. Sheffield equalised after a slice pass from Riley created a chance for the Sheffield striker. Northumbria went close before half-time, but centre-back Tom Davies couldn't make good contact in the goalmouth scramble. The referee was kept busy after the break as Sheffield players were given a number of cautions, mainly for dissent. The side from Yorkshire took the lead after reacting quickest to the rebound off the bar. Northumbria were then awarded a soft penalty after Ben Sayer was eased off the ball. Sheffield were clearly unhappy with the decision and received a red card for their protests. Star striker Peter Watling finished precisely from 12 yards. A mid-pitch grapple resulted in 2 more red cards for Sheffield. Despite being down to 8 men, it was Hallam who showed signs of stealing the 3 points. After first hitting the bar, they then countered brilliantly to provide them with the 3-2 advantage. With just seconds to go, Northumbria found the equaliser with Dan Riley steering the ball through the crowded box. The full-time score, Northumbria 3, Sheffield Hallam 3.
Well, where to start with that one then, Scotty? What a game. Got everything in it, hasn't it? Your red cards, 6 goals, all down to last minute equaliser as well. So
it was probably the best 45 minutes of football you're ever going to see. Whoever you support, what a game it was. Like, for the score to finish 3-3, God, I don't know how it happened.
That's the thing, the first half, it didn't even create much chance, did they? There were only, a handful for us, and Sheffield had that one chance that they put away. And then 2-1, it just looked like the game was going to end there until that penalty decision. That was the turning point they wanted. That's what...
A penalty decision. The fans at Old Trafford were kicking off about the Nanny decision last week, but I think this is just as bad, don't you?
It's very, very soft, especially with 5 minutes left in such a heated match. The referee must have known that it was going to cause...
It was never a penalty. Little Ben Sayer gets pushed over in the box, but was that a push?
I think he just got out-muscled because he's not the biggest lads. He just pushed that
that's what resulted in all the red cards, though, wasn't it?
He did, although it wasn't a penalty. There's no excuse for the attitude and just look at this now.
Yeah, this is the sort of scene you'd see in the Royal Rumble, isn't it? Look at them two. What are they doing? They're meant to be representing the university in a football team, and
Watley, understandably, just wants to get the ball back to the centre line as quickly as possible, just to restart his nose as the man up, try and nick 3 points, and they're not having any of it, are they? But they thought they were doing themselves a favour by getting the ball. They've got 2 extra red cards, so They've had to restart play with 8 men.
The 2 lads that were doing that, 2 Dudley brothers over there, they didn't even get red carded. I don't think the ref could write down the names quick enough, couldn't he?
No, the ref were taking down someone else's name for dissent, and I think he missed the whole, call it a grapple.
Oh yeah, well, the referee just couldn't keep the game in check, but you'd think Northumbria would capitalise from being 3 men up, but
definitely you might condemn their attitude on the pitch, Sheffield, but you cannot argue with the fight and the skills of the ball, because restarting the match with 8 men, and they've hit the bar before this, got close, and it's just bet his defender. Well, great, in fairness to the keeper, there's not a lot he can do there, but
just falls nicely to the strike. But at that point, you're thinking Northumbria should definitely be getting the next goal with them being 3 men up. But
that's the thing. I think they've just concentrated too much on getting that last goal, thinking, we've got not to worry about. They've only got 8 men, but they've just let the back door wide open there, and they've lost out.
At this point of the game, there was only 15-20 seconds left, wasn't there? But Northumbria did manage to get a corner,
throwing everyone forward as well.
Yep, threw everyone forward.
Keeper's in there.
Even the
I think it's the keeper that gets the first shot there.
Yeah, it just falls nicely to Dan Riley on the edge of the box, and he finishes with style, doesn't he? Right into the top
look
corner.
at this angle. Look how crowded that box is, and
what a goal that is.
And just put yourself in his position. He's got not a lot to aim at there. Body's charging towards him, and he just picked out his spot, cool as you like, and just slotted it home.
It was an interesting game for Dan Riley, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was. He did the great run that presented Ben Say with the first goal. Then he were at blame for their first goal.
His pass for their goal was terrible, wasn't it? But he definitely made up for it with that
talk about
amazing
redeeming
finish.
yourself in the last minute.
Okay, we're delighted to be joined in the studio today by our very special guest, Terry Mitchell. Terry boasts a wealth of football knowledge. He was the manager at Gateshead Football Club and has previously managed at Hartlepool as the assistant. It's great to have you here today, Terry. What are your views on the season?
Well, the season's finished on more of a positive note in the league. Really frustrating, I've got to say. The first part of the season is probably where we've ended up getting relegated because the results weren't as good then. But from the second half of the season onwards, the lads have really responded well, and we've had some really positive results. Unfortunately, we didn't get that in the first 5 games, so I think that's where we've really let ourselves down a little bit.
Yeah, you just had a look at some of the highlights then from the other games. What do you think were the most positive things that come out of watching that back? Like seeing a bit of play, also watching the differences from the start of the games where you said that's where you lost it to the last few games. Is there like a change in your tactics or anything?
The highlights of the season, obviously the highlights is when you win your games. Most teams, you don't always win, but it's nice when they win. And some of the goals we scored in the highlights were really good to watch. Like good one-touch football, like we try to do it with training. It's a lot of high tempo, possession-based football, and that was really good to see the goals back, especially against Nottingham there. And obviously didn't have the game against Loughborough when we won it home on the 2-1. And it was a stormy night. It was like a winter's night. Yeah. That was probably the best performance the lads put in when we had to win, and we won to take it to the last game.
Yeah.
The next question, sorry, what was it?
So what do you think the difference was between, you said you struggled towards the start of the season and you go into form at the end. What do you think the difference was? Do you think, did you do anything differently tactics-wise?
Personnel is obviously one, got to say. At the start of the season, there was 1 or 2 key personnel were out injured with the long-term injuries, and a couple of lads joined the season later, so it does help, when you get a few really good quality players, that does help. And then as the season went on, I got to say, the lads got better. You're hoping that becomes off what work you do on the training ground. We tinkered with the formations throughout the season to get the best out of what we thought of the group.
We were quite confident that you were going to go into the last game and pick up the 3 points. So what went wrong? You were on such a good run of form.
Yeah, it was. I don't like making excuses, but we played that game on the Monday night. It was a real. It was like a winter's night, unbelievable, and the lads put in. It was a fantastic performance, and they probably put a lot of work in. We then had to travel 2 days later, dead early in the morning. When you really, modern football, as they're saying, it's a couple of days recovery before you go into the next game minimum. We've had to then travel on a bus to Nottingham. We had a couple of injuries off the Monday, and a couple of lads couldn't get out of work, which is frustrating. And then when we got there, they put what, for some reason they didn't play one on the main pitch. They put one like a really smaller pitch to possibly suit them because they knew we played.
Yeah.
Then on the day, I've got to say, the lads just didn't seem to have the spark. I don't know if it was just that little bit of fatigue. We're well in the game. You know, we went in the first half. We're well in it. Created half chances. They didn't really create any chances at all. And second half, they got a break. Got a break away. Went down the left wing. Good cross, and the lad took his goal well. And then fortunately, one of our lads got sent off. Bit of frustration. And then it was really backs against the wall. Obviously, when we had to win, we took a massive chance. Went like 3-3-3 with formation with 9 players.
One of your famous formations.
Yeah, famous formation. And then the last goal was right on the death, you know. So we lost the game 2-0, but it wasn't really a fair reflection. But so it was a combination of two, you know, like different things. I just didn't go for it on the day, you know.
Well, you were in great form going into that match, and you've also got a game tonight in the Stan Calvert. So how confident are you going into that match today?
Yeah, well, obviously that's the last game of the season, so you know we'll really be stressing to the lads. Let's at least finish the season on a real high. Yeah, it's important for the university that, you know, I think we'll be one of the first games in the Stan Calvert. I think a lot of them are after tonight. So we want to get off and get the points on the board to help progress, and hopefully the university wins the competition. I think
it's pride and reputation as well, in it. In like Stan Calvert, it's not just a football match. It is like bragging rights in the city. So there's a little bit extra tonight. So. Maybe a big game.
Yeah, we'll stress that the players. Obviously, the lads all go to the university. They'll have friends go to other universities, so they'll have their own personal pride. But yeah, hopefully we'll definitely finish the season on a high tonight.
So last question: what's going to happen next season? What are your hopes and expectations?
Well, next season we've got to, first and foremost, we've got to get promoted. There's no, you know, we're not going to mess about. You know, we're really disappointed. It's the first time in I don't know how many years that we haven't been in the Premier League. So it's disappointing to go down, but we'll definitely, the priority is, number one, it'll be we must get promoted, you know. We'll be looking to recruit again. You know, Paul Johnson does a great job, goes to exit trials, etc. We'll have trials again, and then we'll hopefully recruit a team that's good enough, and I'm sure we will be good enough, you know, through hard work and good recruitment, to definitely get the university back in the Premier League.
Yeah, I'm sure you will too. But, okay. Thank you very much for watching Northumbria Football. We hope you enjoyed it as much as we have. And
best luck to the boys tonight in the Stan Calvert. Let's hope it goes well. Thanks for watching.